Welcome to our channel, the fastest and most complete update of shocking details, breathtaking twists and darkest secrets in the hit TV series Beyond the Gates. During the week of June 16th to 20th, viewers will witness a series of terrifying and unexpected events with no way out. Chelsea and Madison, two women who seem to be just close friends, unexpectedly got caught up in a complicated and dangerous relationship. At first, there was sympathy, comforting hugs and sharing during long lonely nights. But then everything quickly turned into an intense emotion beyond control. They rushed into each other like two people running away from reality, forgetting the moral boundaries, forgetting the consequences and the presence of loved ones who were being betrayed. Their relationship is not only a betrayal to themselves, but also a stab to those who love and trust them. From shy glances to random touches, everything is no longer as pure as they thought. Now, every moment they spend together is no longer comfort, but the fear of being discovered. The feeling of guilt tormenting their minds, the endless chaos with no way out. And when the truth is revealed, how will they face the eyes of the world? Of their loved ones and of their own conscience? At the same time, Martin begins to show signs of mental instability. At first, it was just fleeting dreams. Then terrifying hallucinations came to him with increasing frequency. He saw ghosts in the mirror, heard his name called in the middle of the night even though there was no one in the room. Strange sounds, recurring images, nightmares coincide with a dark memory that makes Martin unable to distinguish between what is real and what is fake. Gradually, he is forced to face his past that has been hidden for many years, a terrible secret that he himself has deliberately forgotten. That shadow not only haunts his spirit but also threatens to destroy his current life if it is revealed. Panic pushes Martin into a state of mild insanity. And his every action becomes more and more strange and unstable, as if he is running away from himself. In another development, Dani thought she had found safety and warmth in Andre, whom she trusted as a confidant, the person to whom she confided her deepest secrets. But everything collapsed in the blink of an eye when she discovered that Andre was not as innocent as he appeared. A series of evidences show that Andre has been maintaining a secret relationship behind her back, not only a physical betrayal, but also a sophisticated emotional conspiracy. Dani collapses. Not only because of her broken heart, but also because the honor and trust of the entire Dupree family is now dragged into the quagmire of scandal. This shock is like an earthquake that sweeps through each member of the family, leaving irreparable cracks. Dani, a strong woman, suddenly becomes a lost shadow, frantically searching for a reason to understand why everything collapsed so quickly. Bill, just released from the hospital after a serious health incident, makes Haley shocked when he casually mentions death insurance. While everyone thought Bill would cherish life more than ever, he delves into the legal details surrounding the rights to inherit property when he dies. Haley stood there, stunned, wondering if Bill was thinking about ending his life? Or was she part of a dark plot? The strange actions, the distant looks, the meaningful words made Haley live in constant fear. She didn't know whether to trust Bill or run away from the man she once loved, now becoming an unsolvable mystery. Meanwhile, Nicole suddenly made a bold decision. She revealed a terrible secret that could completely destroy her marriage with Ted. After years of hiding, Nicole finally could not continue living in a lie. The truth she brought was not only a shock to Ted, but also a bomb that shook the whole community. It was not only a story of the past but also related to current decisions, to trust, honor and loyalty in a relationship that seemed unshakable. Ted, who had stood firm against the storms of business, was now knocked down by the counterattack from his wife. Nicole, in the moment of admitting everything, also knew that she was pushing herself into a spiral of destruction. But she accepted it, because remaining silent any longer would only mean further deception of herself. However, the most dangerous highlight this week is the secret but extremely scary alliance between Vernon and Vanessa. They used to be enemies, used to fight to the end. But now they stand on the same side, a cooperation based on ambition, calculation and bloodlust for power. Vernon, who once manipulated an entire underground financial system, now joins hands with Vanessa, a cunning and scheming woman. They not only want to overthrow their opponents, but also want to rewrite the rules of the game. deciding who lives and who must fall in this world of blood and tears. Both of them secretly build a new network of influence, using news, power and even sex as weapons to gradually control the game. Secret meetings, handshakes in the dark, promises of power exchange, all are fueling a bloody war that no one can avoid. And that's just the beginning of a series of tragedies. Doors to the past are slowly opening, seemingly unrelated people are getting closer, dragging along sins, secrets, betrayals and intrigues, forming a giant spider web where everyone is prey. As the alliance between Vernon and Vanessa becomes tighter, the shadow of power gradually covers the entire community they live in. No one realizes that everything around them is under their control. From failed investments to family scandals released at the right time, Vernon manipulates information from the underground media, while Vanessa secretly controls key figures in the local political system. This dangerous couple is not seeking simple wealth, but absolute domination, the power to bring everyone to their knees, to make every secret exposed or hidden fall into their hands. Meanwhile, Chelsea and Madison continue to struggle in their cursed relationship. They try to retreat, cut it off, deny it. But the more they deny it, the deeper they sink. Each time they try to stop, they sink deeper into the intense and painful emotions. Chelsea begins to distance herself from those around her to hide her secret actions. Madison lives in fear. Not only because of guilt but also because she knows a terrible secret about Chelsea that could blow everything up. Their relationship becomes twisted, warped, no longer love or friendship, but an obsessive and destructive dependence. One mistake after another, bringing them both to the brink of losing control. And when a hidden camera clip is anonymously sent to Chelsea's husband, Ted, things begin to spiral out of control. Ted doesn't speak for 2 days after seeing the clip. He stays silent, observing, gathering more data. His silence makes Chelsea die of fear every day, not knowing when her anger will flare up. Madison is so panicked that she tries to leave town at night, but is caught packing her things. Ted, now like a predator stalking his prey, does not act hastily. He plans to get back at not only Chelsea but also the entire system that has covered up, lied to and ridiculed him. An elaborate revenge plan begins to be drawn up, where Chelsea and Madison's every move is controlled without their knowledge. At the same time, Martin, with increasingly severe hallucinations, seeks out a former priest who was once a close friend of his father. In a fit of panic, Martin admits that he witnessed a horrific murder as a child, and not only that, but was also an accomplice who was forced to keep silent. The past had been pushed to the depths of his subconscious, but now the hallucinations were pulling it back to the surface. He began keeping a diary to control his mind, but each page brought back more vivid details of the blood and guilt he had tried to forget. Martin didn't know how much time he had before he lost control completely. He hid from family gatherings, avoiding eye contact with loved ones, afraid that even a glance would be enough to reveal his past. And just as he was cutting off all contact, a new body was discovered in the northern woods, exactly where Martin had been on a night of madness. The police got involved, and this time, Martin couldn't avoid it anymore. Danny, after discovering that Andre was the secret lover behind a series of illicit relationships, not only collapsed but also burned with rage. She secretly gathered evidence, followed Andre, and recorded every act of betrayal. But Danny didn't know that she was being watched. Andre, with his multiple personalities and manipulative mind, soon realized that she was planning revenge. He turned everything into a dangerous mind game, from tricking the recorder, creating fake calls, to creating a scenario that made Danny believe she was going crazy. In the end, Danny herself becomes isolated, seen as emotionally disturbed, making her accusations lose weight. Andre wins his twisted game. But Danny is not done yet. She begins to seek out other witnesses who were victims of Andre, and a secret resistance group begins to form, ready to expose him to the world. Meanwhile, Nicole, after revealing a shocking secret to Ted, faces more serious consequences. Her own daughter, Madison, is now the center of attention for the entire town. Madison's involvement with Chelsea and her threats from Ted have pushed the young woman to the brink of collapse. Nicole must choose between protecting Madison or saving her crumbling marriage. Meanwhile, Vernon and Vanessa watch from afar, like the backstage of a bloody play. They secretly set Nicole up with a fake financial contract, which will put her in trouble if she tries to protect her daughter. Vanessa, with a cold smile, puts Nicole in a dilemma, where every decision leads to loss. And when the underground forces begin to collide, Ted takes revenge, Nicole defends, Vernon and Vanessa attack, Martin is confused, Danny rebels. Madison panics, the once peaceful town becomes a bloody chess game where no one can stand aside. The first gunshots may not have sounded yet, but the screams in each character's mind have already roared like a storm about to fall, with no way out. And then everything seems to be drawn together by fate in an unstoppable spiral. People who once loved, were close, and trusted each other now face each other as sworn enemies. Chelsea and Madison are pushed into a dark corner as rumors spread throughout the town, leaving them with nowhere to hide. Ted, instead of exploding, chooses deadly silence, and that is what scares Chelsea more than anything else. She doesn't know if he will take revenge in silence or prepare for an unpredictable, fatal blow. Madison is devastated, living in fear and guilt. And it is she who blurts out the truth in front of Danny, her sister, who is drowning in hatred for Andre's betrayal. Martin, now a wanderer between the boundaries of reality and fantasy, is trying to clear his past by confessing to the authorities about the case that has been buried for many years. But his confession is dismissed as the words of a madman, making him even more desperate. Meanwhile, the police find a suspicious clue that points to another possible culprit, sending Martin into a new legal spiral. Danny continues to quietly gather evidence on Andre, but when one of his former victims suddenly disappears, she knows she's dealing with someone more dangerous than anyone could have imagined. Andre is not just a traitor, but maybe a monster hiding beneath the surface. Nicole finds herself in the middle of a storm of her own life, torn between her motherhood and the consequences of a past she's tried to hide for years. Vernon and Vanessa, like two wolves hunting for prey, are silently tightening their siege, pushing each into the desired position so they can strike at the right moment, when they felt that all the pieces were in their hands. The final assault was launched with a grand event held in the center of town, where all the main characters were present. And no one expected that the very night would be the moment that would trigger an irreversible tragedy. Secrets were exposed publicly, screams, tears, collapses, and even blood would be shed right under the bright lights. There was no room for forgiveness. There was no chance to turn back. What was once love, friendship, family, honor, now only ashes after a bloody and deceitful purge. And when the final night ended, there were only empty eyes looking towards the gate, where it all began and ended. Beyond the Gates. Thank you for watching. To not miss any dramatic, shocking, and surprising episodes in the next episodes of Beyond the Gates, don't forget to follow and subscribe to our channel today. We will continue to bring you the most attractive and engaging recaps.